Welcome to Rooted with Rach, a space for honest conversations about motherhood, relationships, mental health, healing, and the journey of coming back home to ourselves. I'm Rachel, and I am so glad that you're here. Welcome to the Rooted with Rach podcast. I am so happy that you're here. I've been meaning to do this podcast for a while, and finally, I decided instead of continuously to overthink this, someday is going to be today, right now, here. We're going to cover so many things in this podcast: motherhood, healing, mental health, sobriety, relationships. There's a lot to get into. So, why the podcast? Ultimately, I feel like a lot of my purpose here is to help people feel seen. And through that, I think it's sharing my real life experiences. I went through several years where I didn't share my voice. I feel like it's so important to, at this point, to share it, to speak up, to share my truth, the unapologetically authentic, real Rachel. And while I hope that this podcast will reach people and help you on your healing journey, it's also a part of my healing journey. I decided that I don't have to be 100% healed to start this. And I'm going to be showing my life in real time, what I'm going through. It's going to be a lot of real life, real conversations, unfiltered. And I'm so excited to just be fully seen for who I am. And I think ultimately at the end of the day, that's what we all really want. I am a wife, a mom. I've been a hairstylist since 2012. And I've also been someone that's experienced a lot of anxiety and panic the last several years. That's something I've been healing through in real time. And just this last August, my family and I moved to Florida. And I really do feel like this is just a big piece of my healing journey and really learning to come back home to myself and who I am. As a hairstylist behind the chair, there's a lot of things I've learned as well. And one being, no matter the person, no matter what they look like from the outside in, we're all carrying something. And we just want to be seen and heard, loved and accepted for who we are. Becoming a mother has been my greatest gift and blessing that I've ever experienced in my life. But also through that and through postpartum, there's been a lot of identity shifts and trying to understand how to find myself within motherhood. It's a whole new chapter that I've been going through the last 5 years. My son's 5, my daughter's a year and a half. And it's been so fun, but it's also been a big adjustment as well. And I think a lot of people can relate to this identity shift once they have kids. And there's a lot about that that we will look into moving forward. I definitely hope for this podcast to become a space where I have other people on as well. I already told my husband he needs to be on it. And there's just real conversations about sobriety and different things that finding some light in other people's stories and to connect with them is a really important part of why I'm here today. When the moment clicked and I knew I had to just finally do this podcast was actually about a week ago. I was already thinking I really wanted to do this podcast, but then I decided I'm going to reread some texts with my best friend, Taylor. Now, Taylor and I have been best friends since we were kids. We met when we were in kindergarten and we had been inseparable, really. She was more like a sister to me. And I say was because Taylor died almost 4 years ago and she died by suicide. And when I was reading texts from her the other night, I don't even know what brought me to it. It's been a long time since I've done that. And then once I started reading, I realized there was a reason. It was a couple months before she passed away, and she had told me that she started listening to podcasts, and they were really helping her because she felt so seen when listening to the everyday struggles that other people go through. It made her feel a lot less alone, and she just said how much she enjoyed them and how much they were helping her. That is really when it clicked. I thought, okay, Taylor's already such a big inspiration to this podcast. And then reading that, I had totally forgot about that conversation. I thought, that's it. it's time. I need to do this. She is such a shining light in my life still. And there will be a whole episode dedicated to just Taylor. But she is a huge why to this podcast. And I know moving forward, she is with me every step of the way. So there's going to be a lot more to come here. And I cannot wait to dive into it. This is just a little intro and piece of what you were going to experience when you get into these episodes. But ultimately, my number one thing is if one person feels seen by listening to life experiences from me and others, it's going to be worth it. Just one person. And a huge thing, too, when I thought about this was why would people want to listen to me? And I had thought about it. I'm not here to teach. I'm not here to be the wise one. I still am navigating life in real time. However, I do think there's something to be said for other people's lived experiences. And there's a lot of obstacles and things and life lessons that I have overcome. And there's a lot I am still navigating and learning through. And so, really, I hope this podcast can be a place where we can learn and grow together in a safe space where you feel like you're enough and you don't feel as lost as maybe you once did. So, welcome. I am so, so, so happy you're here. And just come along the journey with me, and we will figure this out and navigate this life together. Thank you so much.